Hey everyone, my name is Ashton August with YogiApproved.com, and today we're here to learn a few techniques that we can use to relieve lower back pain by using a foam roller. Lower back pain is a very common issue that so many of us suffer from, and there are many causes, but mainly it's a result of our sedentary lifestyles. From sitting long hours at the desk to driving in our cars, and an overall lack of stretching can all contribute to lower back pain. Foam rolling is an excellent therapeutic technique to help with self-massage, deep tissue massage, myofascial release, and helping to relieve tension and tightness in the areas of our body that contribute to lower back pain. So when you're looking for a foam roller for these techniques, I recommend looking for one that's high density and also textured like the one I have here from Epitome Fitness. What I love about this foam roller by Epitome Fitness is that it has two different textures. And so this allows you to get a gentler self-massage versus a deeper self-massage based on the poses we're doing as well as what your body needs. And we'll get into that more when we're practicing the exercises. The final thing to know about lower back pain is that it's often caused from different areas in the body aside from the lumbar spine specifically. And that's why we'll also be targeting things like your glutes, your hip flexors, as well as your hamstrings, because all of these areas, if they're tight or tense, can actually lead to lower back pain. All right, so as you're ready, grab your foam roller. You have the option to use a yoga mat or any other soft surface to practice on. And when you're ready, let's jump into these exercises. We are going to begin with lumbar mobility, and just as a brief reminder, the lumbar spine is our low back, and this can be a very sensitive place for many of us. So as you begin foam rolling today, please just really take it slowly, listen to your body, and if anything becomes too intense, that's just your cue to back off a little bit. We do want to keep this practice very safe, and many of us are either suffering from a lower back injury, a herniated or bulged disc. So again, just really listen to those feelings of intensity and be kind to your body. So the first one that we're going to start with is, like I said, the lumbar spine or the lower back, and I'm actually going to begin with what we want to avoid. So if you have a sensitive lower back or if it's already tender, you don't want to bring a deeper arch into it because that could create more pain in the lumbar spine. So instead of directly arching our low back onto the roller, what we're going to do first is angle ourselves. So I'm going to come down to my forearm, and if you're working with a textured roller like I am, try to make sure you've got the more gentler side to start. Now from there I'm going to lift myself and then gently keep both feet planted as I begin to rock up and down. Now with my free hand, if I'm feeling like I want a little added support, I can guide my hand to that area and just gently lift some of that weight up and off of the roller. Notice how both of my feet are planted. So that's the other thing you can do too, is really press into those feet, and you'll see that actually lifts me off the roller altogether. So again, find that placement that works for you, and then we'll go on to side two. So as you're ready, just lower your seat down, sit back up, and we'll transition. And now you can see what it looks like from the back. So starting with my forearm planted, I'm going to gently angle, and then begin to rock up and down. Good. Again, I can use my free hand and bring it to that part of my body to help lift it off a bit more. Good. Maybe extending the leg if you wanted to take it a little deeper. Again, just exploring your body, noticing what feels good, noticing areas you need to back off. And then when you're done, you'll slowly rock back onto the seat and sit up for our next pose. The next pose that we're going to do is supported bridge pose. This is actually a restorative yoga pose, and typically in a yoga class we would be using a yoga block for it, but a foam roller works just as well. What I love about supported bridge pose is that it targets the lumbar spine specifically, and it's a very passive posture for us to practice, and you're going to feel the relief right away. So to begin, we're just going to place the roller to the side, and you're going to recline onto your back and plant your feet close enough to your seat so that you can touch your heels. From there, grab the foam roller, and again, try to go for the gentler texture if you've got texture. We're going to lift the hips and gently slide that roller directly beneath the tailbone. So This is not resting on our lumbar spine. This is actually resting on that diamond-shaped part of my tailbone. Now, my very tip of my tailbone is hanging off the edge of the roller towards my heels. And then from there, you're gonna feel that triangular part of your tailbone or your sacrum completely supported by the roller. And then when you feel that relaxation come in, just pause here. You wanna keep the bottoms of your feet planted to the floor. If you have a particularly sensitive low back, you can try heel-toeing your feet a little wider apart and then allowing your knees to cave in towards the center. From there, I'm also really pressing down through my shoulder blades into the mat. And you can just enjoy this restorative pose for a few breaths, up to a few minutes. We're feeling the tailbone become entirely weightless here, fully supported by the roller beneath it, and we're just breathing deeply, allowing the restoration to occur. From there, as you're ready to come out of the pose, we'll simply lift the hips, we'll slide that roller out from underneath us, and then as you're ready, we'll gently rock up to a seated position. Nice job. All right, our next exercise is working into different areas of the body that when they are tight or tense can often contribute directly to lower back pain. The first of which is the glutes and the piriformis muscle. So this area can get really, really tight, especially as a result of sitting. And then as a result of that, it can contribute or cause low back pain. So for the glutes, this is a very simple exercise to start. You're just gonna place the roller right behind you and then planting your palms, lift and sit your booty right on that roller. So you can experiment with the different textures again if you have the textures, but this one's really easy because we're just rocking up and down the length of the glutes. So, as with any foam rolling exercise you do, stop when you find a little hot spot or a knot and you can work into it. So you can kind of work into it side to side, you can move side to side, and then just keep rolling again. Good. Now from there, we're gonna work into the side glutes. So what I like to do for that is extend one leg. So I'm gonna extend my left leg. I'm going to cross my right foot in front of it as I slowly roll on to the side of my left glute. Now from there, you can gently rock forward and back there. You can bring your free hand to your hips just for a little added support. And you're just, again, working into any areas of tightness or tension that you find. And then when you're ready, we'll come back through center. And we'll extend the opposite leg, planting the opposite foot. Readjust the roller accordingly. And then once more, roll up and down. Now, if you do want to add on a little intensity, you can experiment with lifting that bottom leg off the mat to bring it a little deeper into the side glutes. When you're done, you'll just plant both palms and come back to center, and we are going to work into the piriformis now. So, my roller got a little sideways, so I'll fix that. Now for the piriformis, what we're going to do is come into a seated figure 4 position. So I'm going to rest my left ankle on top of my right thigh, and then I'm going to keep my left foot flexed. This will protect my knee joint. Now from there, as I begin to rock up and down, I'm going to feel that piriformis pretty quick, but then continue to explore. So you can angle the left knee more down towards the floor, and you're going to feel an entirely different sensation there. You can experiment with lifting it up slightly, and then coming back through center. All right, and then when you're ready to switch sides, just come back to center. We'll plant that left foot and we'll come into side 2. So flex that right foot, keep the toes active, press your right knee slightly down towards the floor, and then same thing. We can gently rock up and down, and then just explore with those different angles. So working into the piriformis is excellent because that is an area that gets tight just from sitting. So this is a great way to kind of work out some of that tension, release some of that tightness, and create more space in the body so that we can help to eliminate and avoid lower back pain going forward. All right, so getting into that side 2, Noticing what feels different from side to side, working into any areas of particular tightness that you may find. And then when you're ready to come back to center, same thing. Lift the leg and then slowly release down, and we'll just roll right off that roller. Now for this next one, we're going to work into our hip flexors. So this is a very commonly tight area for many of us, and there's a few different ways to get into it, but one of the easiest ways is to actually come back through that figure 4 shape that we just had, and I'm gonna bring my right ankle back just to show you from the side, and we're gonna come back through center as we flip ourselves all the way towards the stomach, and then slowly lower down. So we're taking like a half frog shape with our right leg, and we're gonna target the left hip flexor first. So notice that my right shin is parallel with the side of the mat, or just parallel in general if you're not on one. And then from there, you're gonna tuck your left toes, straighten that left leg, and then very gently rock up and down. Good. Now you can stay right here, or we can lower down to the forearms and continue. Again, take it nice and slow here. It's a very small area, so it's very small motions. And then you can also experiment with gently tilting the hips from side to side. You can even try lifting, bending, and straightening the leg. Just different techniques to work into different parts of the hip flexors here. Good. And then when you're ready to come out of it, just drop that left knee down. We're gonna press back onto the palms and then lift ourselves up. And this time we can just transition through a tabletop pose. Just slide that roller onto the opposite side. And then same position, so we're gonna bring our left shin parallel, extend the right leg long, and then lower down slowly that hip flexor to the roller. So same thing, we're gonna tuck the toes, straighten that right leg, and then rocking up and down nice and slow. You can stay on the palms, or I prefer to lower down to those forearms. Rocking up and down, and then stopping and gently shifting hips left to right. And then again, you can even try bending and straightening. And just another reminder again to listen to your body. Some of these exercises will be too intense for some of us. And so just learning to recognize when to back off or when to go a little deeper. And then when you're ready to come out, we're just gonna come out of it the same way we came in. So drop that back knee, press back onto the palms, and then from there, we're just gonna lift ourselves into tabletop position and prepare for our final exercise. So another area that can impact the low back and create low back pain if it's tight are the hamstrings. So let's finish with the hamstrings. So what we're gonna do is we're going to sit the booty down with the roller beneath us. Now again, if you have textures, start with the gentler. You can progress to the more deep texture if and when you're ready. But the way that we do this is we're gonna start with one foot planted and one leg extended. You're gonna plant the palms behind you and then lift so that the hamstring is now on that roller. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna rock from the base of the booty just above the knee. You never wanna roll your joints, so try to avoid the knee area. And we're just rolling up and down the length of that hamstring. Good. Now if you wanna make this more gentle, you can keep the heel down, and this will bring a little more support. If you want to make it a little more intense, then you can lift the opposite leg and cross it on top of the right. Good. And then same thing here. So whichever variation you're choosing, when you find a little sweet spot or a hot spot, stay there and then kind of shift side to side. Oh yeah, I'm feeling it now. And then work down a little bit, same thing. And that's when that more gradient texture comes in handy because these little nodules feel like fingers. So it really works in there. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll just switch to side two. So you can sit your booty down for a second, plant that right foot, and then we're gonna lift that left hamstring onto the roller, and once again, begin to roll up and down the length of the thigh. Take it slow. Again, if you'd like a little more, you can cross the leg on top of the other. then also look for those areas, those knots, work into those, give those a little extra TLC. And then when you feel complete, we'll just come out of it by dropping the seat down. That concludes our exercises you can do with a foam roller to help relieve lower back pain. And again, the beauty of this video is you can revisit it time and time again as often as you need to. And please just be sure to listen to your body. Foam rolling can be a very intense practice, especially when you're first starting out. So take it slow, keep it safe, and be sure to enjoy. Thank you so much again for joining us, and be sure to subscribe to our Yogi Approved YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of our latest videos.